Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, NXT, Main Event, 205 Live, Superstars, Level Up. These are just some of the weekly shows that WWE has put out that I can think of from the top of my head. WWE have put out so many shows, some good, some bad, and a few forgotten to time, but one that I vividly remember and always found to be a very weird and surreal show was WWE Saturday Morning Slam. Saturday Morning Slam was a show announced by the WWE on August 10th, 2012. They announced it would be airing on the CW network on a Saturday morning and it would be premiered later that month. Saturday Morning Slam was essentially a kids show and it was WWE's way of trying to get in on the kids Saturday morning cartoons market and try to almost create their own Saturday morning cartoon, well, not cartoon, that kids can watch and enjoy. And I myself have very vivid memories of watching Saturday Morning Slam as a kid, so today I'm going to be revisiting it as an adult. So make sure to subscribe right now as we check out WWE's weirdest forgotten show. Right, so WWE Saturday Morning Slam, 1st of September 2012. This is episode 2 of Saturday Morning Slam, and we're past the first episode now, so we're really gonna see what this show is really like. I thought to do this because usually when you launch a new show, episode 1 is usually stacked compared to the ones that come after it to make a good first impression, but looking back at this first show, that doesn't really seem to be the case. You might also notice there is only one match on the card, and this is because when Saturday Morning Slam first started, they ran on a one match per show model, with the match being branded as a Saturday Morning Slam exclusive match, which I actually think, and you know what, I actually think it's quite an interesting concept to try sell a show on one match per week. But I'm about to foreshadow here, the wrestling isn't really the main focus of this show. But regardless, I'm excited to see what exclusive match we get on this exclusive show. Anyway, we open the show on a top 5 countdown. Okay, WWE, I see you trying to jack my style. Thank God it's not a top 10 countdown. You'd have seen me in court if it was. I mean, to be fair, you definitely wouldn't have seen me in court. Maybe Watch Mojo, though. They might have had a problem with it. Anyway, the list they're doing is the top 5 catchphrases in WWE history, and the list consists of, if you smell what The Rock is cooking, to be the man, you gotta beat the man, I'm the Miz, and I'm awesome, you can't see me, and finishing off with that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. They really snuck in the Miz there, didn't they? They really tried to sneak him in. Then next up we get a history lesson about autographs and then a feature from a bunch of WWE wrestlers showing off their autographs. Wait, that sounds wrong. Showing off their signatures. Wait, that sounds even more wrong. We just get Kofi Kingston, Dolph Ziggler, Layla, The Miz, and Derek Bateman, and they're just showing off their signatures and asking questions about signatures. Cool. We then get Alex Riley, who is giving us our WWE pop quiz, who is testing us on some signature WWE knowledge. His words, not mine. Like, is this signature stuff a rib? Like, surely, right? Question 1 is who beat Vince trying to buy WCW? When I say question 1, I mean the only question. The options, of course, are Stephanie McMahon, Shane McMahon, Triple H, and Omos. And we're going to find out the answer to this signature WWE knowledge trivia later on tonight. Or, sorry, later on this morning. And next up is our Saturday Morning Slam exclusive matchup, as it's Brodus Clay versus Kurt Hawkins, the NWA's finest versus Impact Wrestling's finest. Funk is on a roll as Brodus is out first with the Funkadactyls and somebody's on the phone with my mother, and I still can't believe this guy was NWA champion in the great year of 2023. Kurt Hawkins is out next and we can begin our match. Josh Matthews and Santino Marella are on commentary, which is an interesting commentary pairing and not a bad commentary pairing, I must say, and this match actually went way longer than I thought it would go. Probably thanks in part to the fact that a good chunk of this match was spent just doing nothing, like they literally spend the first quarter of this match just dancing. But this match is entirely a comedy match. It's a slow-paced, rest hold comedy match. It's just Brodus Clay embarrassing and humiliating Kurt Hawkins pretty much. Kurt gets back into the match in the second half of it as he finally gets Brodus down, but it's extremely short-lived as Brodus very quickly gets back into it, begins dominating again, and finishes the match and wins it. This was very much a nothing TV match. Like I said, it was just rest holds and extremely slow-paced action. After the match though, Alex Riley comes back to tell us that Shane McMahon was the answer to the WWE trivia question, or sorry, the signature WWE trivia question, and damn it, I really thought it was Omos. We then get the Saturday Morning Spotlight, as this week's Saturday Morning Spotlight is Rey Mysterio, and if you're wondering what the Saturday Morning Spotlight is, it's just a 1.5-minute long vignette with Rey Mysterio showing off how he does his moves, including the 619. And then, yeah, that's it. We get some final words from commentary, the credits roll, and that's the end of the episode. That is the entire episode of episode 2 of Saturday Morning Slam. So what we saw was one match, 8 minutes of wrestling, if you can even call it that, a top 5 list, a trivia segment, and to be honest, it was kind of exactly what I expected. Saturday Morning Slam, like I said, was a kids show. It aired on the Saturday morning slot traditionally reserved for cartoons because it was a kids show. And what I watched was a kids show. The match was comparable to any main event or superstars match, so it was harmless fun, and the other stuff is just kinda there. But like I said, it's a kids show. I'm not the target audience here. Like I said earlier, when Saturday Morning Slam first started, they only had one match per show, but as the show went on, they would increase the amount of matches, and a lot of the time they'd have 2 matches on the show, probably the most that you could fit into a 22-minute slot, without every match not being complete garbage. The show was mainly reserved for your lower card guys and your comedy acts, such as Brodus Clay as we saw tonight, Santino Marella, the 3-man band, the Primetime Players, and many more, but you'd also see the occasional bigger name appearing. Daniel Bryan, AJ Lee, Rey Mysterio, John Cena faced Heath Slater on a random episode, and those are just a few of the names that I found appeared on Saturday Morning Slam. In fact, the final ever WWE Saturday Morning Slam saw Randy Orton and Sheamus teaming up to beat the Primetime Players, which to me sounds like a pretty good match for the time. But as you might have heard me say, this was the final ever match on Saturday Morning Slam. The show only lasted for 38 episodes, going on a 9-month run from August 2012 to May 2013. And to be honest, that's all it ever really needed. Like, this show was never gonna last forever. It was never gonna last that long period. By this point, the Saturday morning children's programming block was already kind of a lost concept, but regardless, this show existed for 9 months, and you probably don't remember it, but this show existed. You're probably asking though, did anyone actually watch it? Because I know wrestling fans are obsessed with ratings, and you'd be surprised to know that while the show did die off very quickly, obviously, some of the early episodes of Saturday Morning Slam crossed over 1 million viewers. Like, damn. That's more than AEW gets now. Did I do it right? Did I do the ratings joke right? WWE Saturday Morning Slam has never really been acknowledged again since it got cancelled, which is exactly why it feels like a whole parallel universe whenever I watch it. Like, did this show actually exist? Anyway guys, that's it from me. Thanks for watching guys, like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what weird obscure wrestling shows that I should watch next.